How's it going, guys? Contrary to what we've been told over and over by the mass media and the modern scientific establishment, there are numerous geophysical and astronomical clocks which point to a young age for the Earth, solar system and the universe. In fact, such young Earth indicators are actually in the majority. But because the scientific establishment and the media are biased against a creator, and because evolution requires an old Earth to appear even plausible, the public at large is rarely told about the mounting evidence that contradicts the belief in an old Earth and the many holes in evolution. The scientific evidence actually points to a young Earth that is about 6,000 years old, which would support the interpretation of 6 literal 24-hour days of Genesis creation as recorded in the Bible. Everyone is looking at the same facts. We are looking at the same fossils, we are looking at the same layers of sediment, we are looking at the same radiographic dating of rocks. No one disputes the facts. The difference comes from how these facts are interpreted, because no one was there to see what happened. We cannot directly observe and measure history. We must look at what we have in the present and follow that evidence to wherever it leads us. And the evidence for a young Earth far outweighs billions of years. While there are many evidences for a young Earth, I will only give 5 evidences that the Earth is about 6,000 years old and not billions. But I encourage you to look more into this as well. The oldest living tree on Earth is either an Irish oak or a bristlecone pine. If we assume a growth rate of 1 tree ring per year, then the oldest trees are between 4,500 and 4,800 years old. The fact that these trees are still alive and growing older means that we don't yet know how old they will get before they die. It also strongly suggests that something happened around 4,500 to 4,800 years ago which caused the immediate ancestors of these trees to die off. Note also that it is possible for trees to produce more than 1 growth ring per year, which would shorten these estimated ages. Also, with regard to fossil tree rings, I have been unable to find any documented instance of fossil trees having more than about 1,500 rings. This is significant, since we are told that God literally made the earth and all that is in it only about 1,800 years before Noah's flood, described in the book of Genesis. The Earth's magnetic field is decaying at a rate of about 5% every 100 years. This means that about 1,450 years ago it was twice as strong as it is today, and 2,900 years ago it was 4 times as strong. Therefore, assuming that the rate of decay has been constant for the recent past, then only 10,000 years ago the Earth's magnetic field was 128 times as strong as it is today. So strong that the amount of heat produced would have prevented life as we know it from existing on Earth. At the very least, this data suggested that life on Earth is not much older than about 10,000 years, which fits in perfectly with the Bible and the young Earth. The fact that the Earth's magnetic field is decaying is well documented. This was brought out by a recent Nova special. In fact, at the present rate of decay, the Earth may not even have a magnetic field in 1,000 years from now. And although the Nova special suggested that this may simply mean that the Earth is getting ready for another reversal, this still does not explain the implications of no life on Earth only 10,000 years ago. Carbon-14 is produced when radiation from the Sun strikes nitrogen-14 atoms in the Earth's upper atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere is not yet saturated with C14. This means that the amount of C14 being produced is greater than the amount that it is decaying back to N14. It is estimated that a state of equilibrium would be reached in as little as 30,000 years. Thus, it appears that Earth's atmosphere is less than 30,000 years old. In fact, the evidence suggests it's less than 10,000 years because it has not yet reached equilibrium. And also, carbon-14 dating actually provides some of the strongest evidences for creation and the young Earth. Radiocarbon cannot remain naturally in substances for millions of years because it decays relatively rapidly. For this reason, it can only be used to obtain ages in the range of tens of thousands of years. Scientists from the RATE project examined diamonds that evolution is considered to be 1 to 2 billion years old and related to Earth's early history. Diamonds are the hardest known substance and extremely resistant to contamination through chemical exchange. Yet, the RATE scientists discovered significantly detectable levels of radiocarbon in these diamonds, dating them to thousands of years. The gravitational pull of the moon creates a tidal bulge on Earth that causes the moon to spiral outwards very slowly. Because of this effect, the moon would have been closer to the Earth in the past. Based on gravitational forces and the current rate of recession, we can calculate how much the moon has moved away over time. If the Earth is only 6,000 years old, there is no problem, because in that time the moon would have moved about 800 feet or 250 meters. But most astronomy books teach that the moon is over 4 billion years old, which poses a major dilemma. Less than 1.5 billion years ago, the moon would have been touching the Earth. Today the Earth's population doubles every 50 years. If we assume only half of the current growth rate and start with just one couple, it will take less than 4,000 years to achieve today's population. A biblical age of the Earth, about 6,000 years, is consistent with the numbers yielded by such a calculation. In contrast, even a conservative evolutionary age of 50,000 years comes out to a staggering, impossibly high figure of 10 to the 99th power, greater than the number of atoms in the universe. Clearly, the claim that humans have inhabited the Earth for tens or hundreds of thousands of years is absurd. 4,000 years after Noah's flood fits perfectly. These are just a few of many more, such as the agriculture is too recent, comets that disintegrate too quickly and can't last more than 10,000 years, oil that is still under pressure, although after about 10,000 years little to no pressure should be left. Also, the sun is shrinking at the rate of 5 feet per hour, that 11,200,000 years ago the sun would have physically touched the Earth, and yet they claim the sun is billions of years old. Also, in recent years there have been many findings of wondrously preserved biological materials in supposedly ancient rock layers and fossils. One such discovery that has left evolutionists scrambling is a fossilized Tyrannosaurus rex femur with flexible connective tissue, branching blood vessels, and even intact cells. According to evolutionists, these dinosaur tissues are more than 65 million years old. But laboratory studies have shown that there is no known way, and likely none possible, for biological material to last more than thousands of years. Could it be that evolutionists are completely wrong about how recent these dinosaurs lived? The biblical account of the age of the universe is well in accordance with the evidence. God's word is true, and He created everything in 6 24-hour days about 6,000 years ago. But I encourage you to look more into this as well. I will leave links in the description, including 101 evidences the Earth is young. Thanks for watching, guys. May you all have a blessed day.